to episode 2 of M.A.S.S Builder Early Access. We're going to get straight into it. I did a little bit of grinding, didn't do a whole lot. There's not much changed here. We did a little bit of tuning. We've got a few new pieces here. See, I don't have everything yet. I'm still early on. Still only have really level 1 on things, but you can see where my stats are. I'm starting to go with, where is it, fuel burn rate, trying to keep that high. Acceleration doesn't too much matter, as well as my gun stuff. I might switch over straight to melee here soon as well, for the fact that guns aren't seem to really working at higher difficulty, but that still comes with further gameplay and further development in the trees over here. Because I mean, once we get, up here, find a good one, you get an extra 1,170 piercing damage plus 86 accuracy. And, see, this is all the way up there, but we can get there eventually. But you see, it's 19,500 credits, and you also have very specific materials required. But we're not going to do too much on that. We're going to go straight into the missions, switch back down to normal, and we'll go over to Area 3. Now, it hasn't had any more dialogue since I left off in the last one. I've made sure not to go any further. That way I bring you along with me through all of this, through all the missions. That way you see all the dialogue, you can see everything beforehand. And determine for yourself if you'd like to back the game and get it on Steam. It is currently only on PC. Eventually it will come to the Switch, but as of a time frame, that is not known just yet. Alright, no more quarks left in the area. Please proceed to the next area. You see, my fuel burns real quick still at the moment. I hope to get it way up there later, especially if I'm switching over to, for the most part, straight melee. See some of them flying ones come in a second. There we go, all that is done. Now we just gotta hold off until they show up. Or not, I guess they're just gonna show up immediately and that was it. Well, that works, I guess. flannels up top. They look real nice. That new back piece that spins around. Guess he did that too. Alright. There we go.
Mission clear.
Alright, so that was a pretty simple mission. Just hold up, make sure I didn't turn off my recording here. Definitely did not. Alright. But simple, straightforward mission, not all that hard. Protect the one fuel cell in the second area. And then just take out the flying guys in this one. That's not too bad. Still love these new flying things. I will always call them flannels just because of Gundam. Alright. Exiting from the pilot controls, you saw Reina standing right beside you, looking at the monitor, watching your M.A.S.S returning back to headquarters on autopilot. Snowfields would be much nicer if it weren't for all the storms and quarks, don't you think? By the way, Waltz came around just now, mentioned he had something he wanted to talk to you about, Commander. Can you visit him in the armory? I'll be on standby here, see if your M.A.S.S detects anything that requires attention. Alright, so I guess we go into the armory. What do you want? He looks a little stressed out. While arriving into Waltz's workshop, you notice him working hard, teaching a younger engineer how to use some tools efficiently. Turned around, noticed your arrival, and took off his safety equipment. Oh, hey there, man. Commander. Thought you'll be coming later. I just received a call from a somewhat older friend. How do I say this? Okay, let me start again. An old friend of mine was just asking around if I knew any PMCs that can accept some work, and I told him I'm currently working in one right now. He's one of the survivors just like me. He's working in a logistics company in Shelter 5 currently. It's called Mole Warp, I think. Anyways, he was asking if we're interested. My bad, it's my fault. I can't read apparently. If we're interested in accepting a job out of the WDF systems. No, it's not shady work. Look here, Commander. It was even approved through the WDF systems, but no one was interested in the job for a good long while now. Yeah, I know that most logistics companies have M.A.S.S units of their own, but I guess Mole Warp doesn't. And since we don't always get missions from WDF. I talked to Raina about this, and she agreed we could do with more jobs. You're okay with it? Great. I'll tell Raina right away. You can relax while I contact Mole Warp. I mispronounced everything today, don't I? Let's see. I'll show you what I got this real quick. I got this one I can unlock. I don't want to right this second. It is a decent one. Actually, yes I do. It's one that I do like to have. Still might switch to that one. It looks a little bit more Gundam-esque. Actually, I'll go ahead and do it. Now, let's see. Armors again. See, I don't have any new ones here. I'm still needing this one for the unicorn. Nothing there. Those are already there. All these ones you say not available right now are ones that should come in later updates. Got 2 more I can grab if and when I want them. Trying to hold off right now, upgrade my M.A.S.S as much as possible. Do have this one. I never really cared for it in the original, but it's decent if you're building more of a heavy tank style M.A.S S, such as this one here. It looks nice in a heavier build. This one's almost the same, the only difference is these are opened up at an angle. Now I do have this lovely one though. Oh, it's a beauty, ain't she? Now the funny part is I got this really quickly too. I think I only did 5-6 missions and I had it completed already. And there's another really good YouTuber who's covering this specific game as well. His name's Moody, and he's been streaming I think for around 6 hours today just on this, and he still doesn't have it. So I thought it was pretty interesting. Thought it was, you know, a little ironic that I got it really quickly. He's still working on it, and he's been covering it for longer than I have. But I've got that one. I don't care for the pointed ones. They look really, really weird to me, and they always will. But let's see, no new shoulders. Get that one soon. That one might be the one I switch to, but it looks small, so I might not. That just depends. This build does call for bigger shoulders, so more than likely I'll go with the Titan 3 until any new ones show up. I've got those. Assault Mark II and 3. I don't need them. Same with Mark II elbow and Blitz elbows. I don't really care for the Blitz too much because they're very spiked, and they just get worse and worse the further down the level you get, and how spiked they actually are. But you know, you can get some pretty interesting stuff later on. It just depends on what you're trying to build. It's not bad. It's just not what I'm looking for in my current builds. But so you can see all the spikes on everything Blitz wise. Let's see, knee pads. I do have 2 I can get. Mark II, Mark III. I'll probably still stay with Mark I just because it's the smallest I've found so far. Now, assault leg, that one's kind of spiked, so is this one. These obviously have their spikes as well. There's that one, Titan 2. Yep. Don't need any more of those. I have grabbed this Blitz X heel, this, you know, axe-based heel right here. Again, not currently what I'm looking for in my specific builds. I do really like this one for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I always have. Or no, it's this one I think. I want to say it's this one. Is it this one? I don't remember. But I will still stick with the ones I've got currently, specifically for the Gundam G05 here. It's just a little odd to me. That one's not too bad for this build either, but it does sort of call for the flat. Just because this is an older version. The RX-78-5 is an older Gundam. It is the 5th of the original Gundam series. is the RX-78. You have the 77, the 78, and the 78-2, 3, 4, 5, and I believe there might be a couple more. But anyways, that's all I've got there. Let's see, weapons-wise, we didn't get a whole lot more there either. I do have, my 2. Let's see here. I have this blade now I've unlocked. And I have not actually unlocked anything else. I do have this one, but it's just a giant block. So I'm holding off on it. That's right, let's see. I don't have any new ones in here. No new handles. Here I do have this one here, which is this and the new barrel. I believe that's it. I do have this barrel here. I think I'm fine still. It's only one shot compared to auto. I have a few of these new ones. I've got this one here, that one. I've got 2 more I have yet to unlock, as well as 3 barrels, but only one I've actually used. These as well. See, I got my big ones now. I don't really care for the ×2 when I can use ×12. I do kind of wish we could move those somewhere. I think maybe some more later on might be able to be different areas. And that's why that's there. So when later builds come, you can be able to switch them around. But this one, look at that back piece. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. I need a good front to this. A good energy pod. But I haven't unlocked one I want yet. So it's probably going to be this one here, because more than likely it spins as well, or this one. This depends. Could also go with just the straight regular flannel look. But I do really like that spinning piece. It's really nice. Especially when I put all that glowing on it. But still can't use any of these. This actually takes a while to get to those. But I'll quit rambling. We'll go on to the next mission. And try to get through 2 or 3 of them before around 30-minute time frame. If it goes a little over, that's fine. The first one was almost an hour and a half. I don't want to go that far this time. Let's see. Commander, you heard from Waltz already, right? The Mole Warp company that we'll be working with. I've talked with the director, ran a background check. Everything's clean, Commander. Basically, Mole Warp wants us to clear out some quarks in the area they are using to transport goods. I have Mr. Andrew, the director, on contacts. I'll have you listen in on the mission briefing, Commander. Raina pressed a few buttons from her desk. You can see a transmission is being sent on screen. A few seconds later, an image of a man in his 30s popped up. Looking friendly, the man lowered his head in a greeting. Looks a little pale there, like not pale, but skinny in the face. It's probably just to accentuate he's got a thinner face with some high cheekbones, but still sort of looks like he's a little sickly, even though build wise he looks fine. Thank you very much, Miss Raina, and good day to you, Commander, at least for giving me a chance to talk to you about this. Let me introduce myself one more time. My name is Andrew Ryan. I'm the founder and director of Mole Warp Logistics. We accept all transportation jobs, mostly through land, and we'll be anywhere for all packages. Maybe we'll go anywhere for all packages? I'm not sure. Now you might have a question, why don't land logistics company like us, or why doesn't a land logistics company like us have our own M.A.S.S escort unit? We actually do, but they are out of commission. We can't say much about details, but we can't use our M.A.S.S right now. A few weeks ago, I had received a commission to transport some items through a dangerous area in the desert. We don't know why our commissioner wanted us to go through that hardships as well. May I ask who's commissioning you and what are the dangerous areas you mentioned about just now? Should be now. We can't just accept a mission of high risk, seeing we are a new private military company. I'm sorry, but it's a policy to never reveal a commissioner unless we are forced to. The location, however, we can talk about since you need to know it for the work. I saw Moody playing on this one earlier. This is an actual area you can get to, Or there's one of these in the center of the map you can play with. It's nice cover in case you ever needed it. You'll be heading through the Algora Desert, an ancient battlefield from the ages of wars, and it's still a minefield out there. And your mission is to clear the path for us to be able to move through safely, be it mines or quarks. Are you saying the EMP mines over there still work? This will prove difficult, Commander. We might need to reboot the connection if you were hit by one of those things. Unfortunately, yes, we don't know why our commissioner wants us to take this path as well, but I assure you our commissioner is someone that's doing this for the sake of the world. Well, the commander says he'll be fine. We accept the offer, Mr. Andrew. Let's set up a date and time for your convoy, and we'll send our mass in. Africa Union here. Alright, clear out the quarks from the area, secure safe routes for Mulwarp Logistics Company. We'll keep it on normal. We'll run through the whole game on normal, and then anytime I'm grinding for extra stuff, I'll just go through on hard or very hard. Earning changes.
Mission start.
Oh. Okay. Go. I probably actually won't even disarm these things. I'll just keep letting them go until the time comes. Oh, just kidding. Apparently I have to. Well, just kidding. I do kind of wish it wouldn't force your hand on where your camera goes whenever you go to interact with things. But again, it's early access. There's always time to change things if they want. Dangerous enemy detected. Oh, it's this guy. These guys. They were one of the one of the quarks that were put in as the boss in the demo. They were the original boss of the demo. Woo! Now we just get rid of the mines and we're home free on this section. Now I have ran into just a few bugs, but again, early release, you're gonna find them. Every now and then, enemies will stop moving based on it. Like I think I did a volley of the 24 rockets that I got, the missiles I have, and upon doing that, having to glitch like I think 1 or 2 people out and they got stuck, which you know happens. It's not that big of a deal. Now I gotta find this last one. Oh, there it goes. And done.
Mission clear.
And that was it. No more quarks in the area. Please remain on standby. That is fine. I will stay on standby then. Now we just wait here until the mission ends. And we'll go straight into whatever they want us to do next. Let's see, BL triplet pack launcher. Assault Mark II foot. Alright. We got 2 new parts. Let's see, welcome back. I've just confirmed Mr. Andrew that everything on their side is perfect. Well, you stayed back and waited until they finished their business. I take it you're trying to earn some favor with them, right? Mr. Andrew had high hopes for us. He mentioned, would it be alright if I get a work contract with them as an outsourced private military company while they look for new pilots for their logistics company? That's okay, great. I'll contact him immediately. Alright, so I guess we are going to be subcontracted out to them specifically now, which is not a bad thing. Gives you more work. Walked into the same old room where your armored craftsman and his crew was working in. Catching you in sight, Waltz motioned to the other workers to continue their work while he walked over to you. Yo, Commander. The mission was a great success, right? Thanks to you, my debt to Andrew is somewhat paid. What? You want to know more about this relationship between me and the man? That's embarrassing, you know. Alright. I'll speak up as a thanks for accepting the sudden job. You knew of the Shelter 13 incident, right? That one that the Quarks hit hard enough to break down the walls one day, and with not enough mass units that could travel overseas, it came down to total destruction? You see, I was one of the survivors of that place. It was a chaotic event, and lots of people died when the Quarks were able to breach the walls into the city. Don't make that face, Commander. I've got over those days. Gotten over those days, maybe? You're starting to make me not want to tell you stories, man. Well, stories. And he laughs. Okay, continuing. Andrew was a volunteer during those days, piloting survivors to other shelters on a carrier plane. I was on his vehicle during the incident, and with nowhere to go, I asked if I could help him with his works. Maybe regular work. I think he was a manager in Mole Warp at the time. Nowadays, he's the owner already. Well, he accepted me and some other guys in the same situation and started training us like mad. But hey, I was able to become an apprentice engineer to Uncle Kale with his recommendation, so I owe the man a lot. When he suddenly called me a few days ago, I was surprised but was glad I could hear from him. As Waltz was about to continue, a younger engineer came up to him with some documents. Waltz skillfully pulled a pencil from his pocket and scribbled something on the documents. Looks like he'll be busy for a while with his work, so you excused yourself. Alright, so we left. Congratulations. Commander, I've just finished talking with Mole Warp a few minutes ago. The deal is secured. We'll be helping them out with various missions until they're able to find someone to take over from their side. For the first offer they've given us, we'll be sent to an area in the Algra Desert once more, but this time will be a much safer place with no EMP mines. Mole Warp wants us to keep that pathway safe for them to use. It seems their M.A.S.S used to do that up until now, so we're just taking over their in-house job. Well, that's a pretty cool one there. Not only does it tell you which hangar you're in over here, because it's all right here, it tells you exactly what you named your specific M.A.S.S frame that's in this hangar. Alright, let's go. Let's see, Commander, since you're here, let me tell you about the offer we received from Mole Warp. Area will be near the last path we took to the Algra Desert, but this time no mines. I said before, they wanted for us to keep the pathway safe. We can even say at a search and destroy mission. We can even say this is a search and destroy mission. Find any Quarks in the area, get rid of them. It's easy, that mission, Commander. Also, Quarks have always been detected moving about the area, so this is an offer we can be taken many times as possible. Well, I mean, I can do all the missions as many times as possible, but this one is specifically called a hunting ground, and you can do these multiple times. These are the better places to come to farm if that's what you're trying to do. Incoming transmission from WDF. This is Raina from Project Gundam speaking. Hey, it's our friend old Knifehead over here. Sorry if this is abrupt, Raina, but emergency came up. We are now broadcasting to all PMCs that are free, so I contacted you guys immediately. Our scouts have noticed abnormal levels of void particles concentration in the Nuya path. Hopefully that's right. It might not be. In a few hours, they'll surely be swarming onto us. The image on the screen changed into a map of hordes of red dots. Large and small, you notice that they are reading of void particles and they are growing by the seconds. Look, I'm cutting things short for now. Please start preparing immediately. I'll continue talking while you do so. Acknowledged. How about the Valkyries? That's the one working under direct commands of the WDF, right? I thought you got lots of pilots over there. Gotten, or you have lots of pilots, maybe? Probably have. Have probably sounds best. How big is the quark wave exactly? That's why I mentioned abnormal levels. We don't know how many or how strong they will be, but we expected something like when Shelter 13 was attacked. A lot of the Valkyries are out on missions around the world as well. And they, not them, and them all won't return in time. They won't return in time. Alright. Hopefully the developers see my videos and check them out so they can see these. I know they are from the other side of the world, They're not from America, so translations won't be 100% right. But if they get in on the videos, they can see, you know, most of us will probably point it out at some point, and hopefully they'll change it eventually. They'll need to be refueled and stocked on ammo as well. So it'd be best to have all hands from every place available to help us until we can stabilize the situation. Most of the time they're fine with these. There is a good bit of, it's just small grammatical errors. What's more important is there are research facilities located all around the area. So get rid of the A there. They're protected by a small void canceller within an old bunker, but it's dangerous, or void cancellers within old bunkers. But it's dangerous this time, and we would like to evacuate all the researchers in those places. Instead of one place, places. What we'd like you to do is to head out, intercept the quarks before they reach those places. Will not put you in any dangerous situations. Just stand ground with your area and destroy any quarks you see. However, if the situation changes, please respond to them accordingly. If there's too much to handle, state them immediately and start retreating. Your safety comes first. Agent Kunai, the commander, and the system is ready for deployment. Send us the coordinates immediately and we'll talk more while traveling. Thank you very much. Ooh, so we got 2 things immediately. So I guess this one's our hunting ground. It is desert pathway safety. This is the one I was talking about that's got this piece in the center of it. You got this nice big old area you can do. That's what this one's going to be. So more likely we'll start here, fly our way into it, and then have to hold ground here. Help WDF and Valkyrie, repelling the quarks around Shelter 1. Is that going to be 1? 2. Shelter 1's over here, so maybe Shelter 10? Or maybe it's just not line. I don't know. Maybe these are off compared to what these say. Let's start it. Let's get this one done with, and then we'll call that the episode there. Half these episodes are going to be me just reading things out to everybody. That was a good guess that we're going to start down here. Oh, I haven't seen that guy yet. He should be gone. Yep. Now, where are you at? So not very strong. They can just fly or hover for a minute. Alright, let's continue. Oh. I know what kind of pain these things can be. Oh, that's how you do it. Hit him right in the middle. The distress signal is still alright. Oh, an upgraded version. Nope, just same one. don't really care for that either. Every now and then when you go to fly away, it'll force you just to go around in a circle around the quark instead of actually getting out of the area like you want to do. I'm not really paying too much attention to what I'm actually getting. We'll see in the end anyways. Oh, this is gonna be the big one. Look at that guy. Go. So that will work. Alright, so boss about to come through. Oh, and it teleports. so far for all the bullets, aren't they? Oh, one finally got down. Ooh. No. I locked onto the wrong guy, but... Almost killed all these guys by now. Longer better than I thought it would be.
Mission clear.
Almost got me, didn't it? Commander, most of the area is now secure. Oh, who is that? Neon. Care to join us in Valkyries? We have our own company over here. Just joking. Oh, you big one then. Project Gundam. Oh, that's the lady. That's the other pilot. I still think it's a little bit of a bummer that you're not actually piloting it personally, but you're just in a room with a pilot seat. Precision buster, another gun piece. Nothing else was completed. A few days after the incident up north, as you walked around your headquarters, you noticed some voices talking from your main hall. Are you certain about this, Miss Neon? So she's here. Walking into the door, you heard a faint but distinct sound of your operator. Pushing the door open, no need for the ED there. You saw a face that was with you just a few days ago. There she is, Neon. Oh, is this the commander in his flesh and blood? You look better than I expected. No wonder this girl chose to come here with you. Eh? What are you saying, Miss Neon? Right, Commander? Let me introduce our guest. This is Miss Neon Kinnear of the Valkyries and her assistant, Miss Ione. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I will screw that all up. Miranda showed her hands towards the two sitting across from her in the reception hall. One is a tall and sports and athletic. Okay, one is tall and sports and athletic look with her hair tied behind her. This must be the leader you've heard of for a long time. She shifted her body to the left, motioning for you to sit right across Neon herself. Looking sideways while taking a seat, you somehow felt more relaxed with the other guest as she smiled back towards you. Well, again, Commander, as I mentioned, your skills are quite remarkable. You came just in time to save my, we'll say, butt. And I saw something about her earlier. Neon, language, and that's not the sole reason we are here, right? Right. Well, can you explain to the Commander for me like you did for Raina here just now? Sure thing, Commander, of the Project Gundam. We were just discussing about the recent events with Miss Raina here and how you could help us. As you might have noticed while working over there, there are not enough M.A.S.S that are operational in emergency times. And that last mission was quite taxing on us. Many of our M.A.S.S are being sent for repairs, and it would take a while for us to get back to our full capabilities. In other words, we're about to help them out as well. So Neon here and I are asking all the PMCs that had responded to our help to lend us a hand further while we're focused on reparations. Would you be willing to accept this deal? Of course we're going to end up accepting anyways. We have no choice, but it'll happen. And we're nice guys. We'll do it either way. Let's see. Why are we in the launch gate though? Kind of odd background for this scene. This would mean we'll have more work assigned to us from the WDF themselves, as well as being subcontractor for the Valkyries. I say it's a shockingly good deal for us, almost too good to be true. As I said, you've shown promise out there. We're willing to give you this opportunity. You thought about it for a few seconds. Truly an opportunity for everyone here at your PMC. And since there's nothing better to help in progressing, you decide to accept this agreement. Told you we would. And that's what I saw earlier. Thank you for your cooperation. I stood up and hold out her hands with Raina following. So this one's odd. Usually the yellow text is internal monologues from one of the characters, usually your own. But it's about half and half. They're saying thank you for the cooperation, and it should be, stood up and held her hands out with Raina following, or held her hand out. In other words, they were shaking hands, but that's sort of an inner monologue piece instead of a actual dialogue. I suddenly pulled out a sack of documents near her feet. You never noticed them somehow, even when they're really stacking high. We'll need you to sign all of these. Well, we're going to be done for the next mission for a while until we sign all this paperwork, apparently. Quickly look towards Raina, who's smiling wryly. Pretty sure I messed that word up too. I understand what it meaning, devilishly, essentially. When something came to your mind, you remembered you gave her the approval to sign anything for the company. It seems she knew what you were thinking. You nodded to Raina's face. That was turning to a frown with every nod you had. So essentially you look at her and you're like, yep, you're doing it. Fine, Miss I'll take care of all of these. Mind if we move on to my office? That'll be no problem at all, but it would be fine for only the two of us to be there. It seems my dear commander would like to speak something in private with yours. Raina turns toward Neon, whom you just noticed looked a bit more serious than before. She stood up and mentioned for Aiden to follow. The two walked off towards the briefing room in no time. After this episode, I'm probably not going to read these anymore. I'll read them internally and give you a minute or two if you want to pause the videos and watch them and read them yourself. It's really taxing having to read every single one of them, and you're probably getting tired of my voice at this point. So I'll finish this one off, continue the same. Actually, I'll stop it here. I'll just stop reading them out and give you time to do it yourself if you feel like reading it. If not, I'll continue on in a couple seconds after I finish it. Alright, so this, your character grew up, Shelter 7. Your close friend, apparently you probably more likely grew up with, is the one who asked you to start the PMC up with their funding. And it was a dream come true, and all you really wanted to do was help protect your own home shelter. Shelters, I'm guessing, are the what's left of humanity at this point. So, she seems to have had an eye on you since training, but somehow you slipped out because you immediately created your own private military company. I guess not every place has an electric catapult like ours, or a very finely tuned M.A.S.S, by the way she made that sound. I'm sat there talking for hours just about the previous battle and what good and bad and what could be better. You know what most veterans of any sort of warlike place would do. Obviously not in our time, unless you're a strategist or tactician. Alright, with that, we will end episode 2 here. We'll pick back up in the exact same spot. Like I said, on the next one, I'll no longer be reading them out loud. It gets tiring after you're doing a lot of recordings and a lot of different games and a lot of editing afterwards. For you to sit here and constantly speak on the character's behalf. Now, some people can do it. I might do it on some other things later on, some other games. But I think it's better if you had either more than one person to come in here, you know, on this side of things, and you can actually dialogue it instead of it sounding like me. It'll sound pretty much monotoned all the way through. So if I had someone else come in, you know, sit in the back and help monologue all these conversations, maybe I'll go back into doing it. But for now, at this point in time, I think that's all I'm going to do. And how did I just now realize I did not set both arms the same? One's red, one's white. So I will gladly do that here in just a second. But for now, I'm going to call that episode 2, and I'll see you guys when we come back with the 3rd episode. And with that, I am out. I'll see you guys later.